Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we discuss what to wear to the airport or when traveling by plane. Back in the day, traveling used to be a special occasion that people dressed up for. My mother-in-law worked for Northwest Airlines, and so whenever their family would fly, they would all be dressed up to the T. These days, anything goes. And when you're waiting at the airport, maybe at a TSA line, you'll see a lot of people wear everything from maybe a regular business suit all the way to a hoodie with sweatpants. So the big question is, what should you wear to the airport and why should you do it? Obviously, dirty sneakers, shirts with holes, and sweatpants are acceptable, and if that's what you want to wear, go for it. However, I like to say luck favors the prepared, and if you're dressed up at the airport, it can still have a number of advantages. Let me start with a story. A few years back, I was on a plane in coach. Our business was much smaller, and we wanted to extend our credit line. I was dressed well, and the guy next to me struck up a conversation, and it turned out he was a manager for my local bank. So when I told him what our plan was and that we had a hard time getting more credit, he was like, well, wait a second. And he gave me his email address. I followed up with him, and I got an increase for my credit line. My banker was so impressed that he called me for the first time ever and wanted to get together with me for a coffee. And he was like, by the way, how did you get your credit line increase? So the only reason that whole thing started was because I was well-dressed and trustworthy. If I would have worn a t-shirt with ice cream stains, I probably would have not gotten that offer from the gentleman. In general, clothes send powerful signals to others, and that also applies to the plane. Now, the easy thing is, because everyone else is so dressed down, you can just get a rather casual ensemble that makes you immediately stand out from the crowd. The other reason you want to dress up when you fly is that your luggage can get lost. That happened to me just last year on the way to my best friend's wedding, where I was the best man. If I had not a nice pair of pants that would actually fit me, I would not have been able to attend that wedding without looking like a complete douchebag. So what are the specific pieces you should wear when traveling? I would say find a compromise between comfort, functionality, and stylishness. First, let's start with a jacket. I always wear a jacket when I travel because I can easily take it off, maybe use it as a blanket, or just have an additional layer to keep me warm, because you never know how hot or cold it's going to be on a plane. I like a very unstructured jacket that is extremely comfortable, no shoulder padding at all, and something that I can just throw into the corner that doesn't wrinkle easily. Ideally, it has enough pockets because between your passport, your phone, your tickets, and other stuff that you need, you want to have enough storage space. During the warmer months of the year, I often travel in my safari jacket, which has really big pockets. It's a nice casual jacket, and it just is perfect for traveling because of that. Ideally, you want a jacket that is dark, so it doesn't pick up stains, or something with a pattern such as this one. Alternatively, I think a navy blazer in a soft material such as cashmere or a cashmere wool blend is ideal. Next up is the shirt. I try to go with a dress shirt. In this case, I'm wearing a button-down collar shirt because it doesn't require a necktie, and it is made out of a fabric that is very hard wearing. To learn more about the Oxford cloth button-down shirt, please check out this video here. You definitely always want long sleeves, but avoid French cuffs because the metal, when you set up the metal detector, you may have to go through stuff again, and it's just annoying. Another really great option for air travel is a long sleeve polo shirt, specifically a white one. It's what I wore when my luggage got lost, and I could wear it for the wedding. It was white, it looked like a regular white shirt, but because of the mesh knit fabric, it is very flexible, very comfortable, and if you reach for something or carry luggage, no seam is going to rip accidentally. If I go on a longer trip, I always either wear a tie because my luggage can get lost, or I try to wear a bow tie or keep one in my pocket because that can be a lifesaver if I need to go to a more formal occasion later on. I always travel with a pocket square, but I skip the boutonniere because when I fold a jacket and put it somewhere, the flower would likely be squished. However, the pocket square instantly upgrades my outfit and makes me stand out from the rest on the plane. In an ideal world, you skip the belt as well as the suspenders and just go with side adjusters. However, that doesn't always work, and so a belt that comes off easily is the best way to go. In terms of shoes, of course, I go with a leather that matches the belt, but in the airport travel case, I usually opt for a loafer. Could either be a penny loafer, it could be a Gucci loafer, and to learn what it's worth in general, please check out this guide here. Alternatively, you can also go with a monk strap shoe, but opt for something that comes off easily and quickly, so no laced Darbys or Oxfords. For pants, I like something that is easily washable, so usually I don't opt for wool dress pants. Instead, I go with cotton chinos and khaki, because they're very neutral, can be combined with a lot, and they can be easily washed if I stain them along the way. Alternatively, during the warm months of the year, I really like seersucker because it's very lightweight, it's comfortable to travel in, yet it doesn't wrinkle very easily and always looks neat. If you're on really long flights, I suggest you invest in a pair of over-the-calf compression socks because it compresses your veins and makes sure the blood keeps flowing and you don't end up with a blood clot that might be lethal. That's especially true if you're an older gentleman. If you're younger and you don't worry about it, I still suggest wearing some nice over-the-calf socks. I particularly like the shadow stripe socks from Fort Belvedere because they're easy to combine, they're always stylish and provide a nice contrast between your pants and your shoes. Personally, I always take 3 aspirins before I fly because it keeps my blood thin and that way I prevent blood clotting, but I also have a history of blood clots in my family. In terms of a carry-on, I usually bring a computer bag, which also contains my camera and all the stuff I need. And if I don't check luggage, I bring a carry-on with really good wheels that is stable enough so I can put my bag on top of it and just maneuver the airport and the cities I'm in very easily. If you're a watch guy, of course you want to wear your wristwatch. Personally, I try to bring it along in my luggage because I don't want to take it off, put it back on. It's just one more step when going through security, and I simply try to avoid it. Of course, to me, time is money, so I invested in TSA Pre and Clear, so I waste as little time as possible waiting at the airport. So in today's video, I'm wearing a typical travel outfit. It is an unlined blazer with no shoulder padding that's very comfortable. It's made out of a soft woolen cloth with a cashmere blend, and my shirt is a light blue Oxford cloth button-down shirt that is really hard wearing. It doesn't have any cufflinks, just regular button cuffs, and my pants are chinos in a typical kind of khaki stone color. I'm wearing it with a belt that matches the color of my brown penny loafers, and it picks up the brown tones of my jacket. For my socks, I went with some contrasting brown and beige socks that pick up the tone of the pants as well as the jacket and to provide contrast between the pants and the shoes. I also skipped any kind of pinky ring or wristwatch because I don't want to set up the metal detector. The same is true for collar stays. I once had a security agent look through my jewelry for 10 minutes because I didn't know what collar stays were and collar clips, and I just want to avoid that kind of hassle altogether. Last but not least, my pocket square is from Fort Belvedere. It's a silk wool blend that picks up the orange-reddish color in my jacket, as well as the blue tones, and you can find it in our shop, just like our socks here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to also watch how to pack a suitcase and what to put into your suitcase in those videos here.